Good morning, lovely folks. Sunday morning ramble for you. Hopefully you don't mind seeing my face once again. Today I wanted to talk very briefly, hopefully, about a criterion that you can use to decide who is the right food producer for you and where to get your food and information. And that's got to do not so much with the quality of the food they produce, which is paramount, but also with the quality of the information they share about the food they produce. So you'll hear a lot by some people who do our job, who are very good at doing it. They produce amazing food, but are not very keen or not so committed to sharing a lot of information about what they do. And by that I mean they don't share a lot about their methods, their techniques, the materials they use, and they might just, share this and that about this or that product, but it's all finalized to selling that product and not so much to teaching you about how you could produce that product, that produce, that food, that vegetable, cook that plate yourself. And the excuses you hear, and that's how I consider them excuses, hopefully not too ingenuously, are, oh, I don't have the time for that, or I'm not very good at sharing things on social media, like showing my face and stuff like that, which is fair enough, but I think they're mostly excuses. I think there are two methods to be a food producer. One way of being a food producer is by making your customers dependent on you. In my case, on me. I can make my customers dependent on me by giving them exceptionally high quality food, but not telling them how they could produce it themselves. Or by not spending so much time and effort in sharing the way I do things. And then there's the other way, where you value, in this case I would value, and I do, the independence of my customers, which I don't consider as customers, I consider like fellow human beings. And I would love for them to make myself redundant, to make myself biodegradable. And by that I mean that if I share not only the amazing quality food that I strive to produce, but I also share the methods that I adopt in producing that food, and I do so in a way that allows you, or whoever buys my food, or whoever follows me, to in time learn all the nuances of producing their own food. That might not be the case. I'm not advocating that everybody will be able to produce 100% of their own food. This is very difficult even for us to do it for a job. But what I'm saying is that by sharing the information that we strive to share, and a lot of people do. I'm not saying that we're the only ones by any means. We empower you. We produce food, and the food that we produce and the information that we share empowers you and allows you to realize how much of that food you could produce for yourself and how to do it. In that case, we put the emphasis on the independence of the so-called customer, or on the independence of the people who support us in one way or another. And in that sense, I like to think that we are really biodegradable, in the sense that the more and more, the better and better we do our job, and the less and less we need to be producing the food that people can grow for themselves. And the more and more we will be sharing information and sharing what we've learned in so many years of experience, and rather than be producing the food that people could produce for themselves. So when people say, oh, I don't have the time, or this or that, I actually think that's not the most important part. My role in society, my most important function and job is to actually produce the food and put food on people's plates, not talk about this and that on YouTube and about this and that on social media. And that's for whatever. That's for people who are into showbiz, not for people who are into hardcore food production. I think those are excuses. I think what that really means is that they're prioritizing, and I'm not criticizing it, I'm just saying, just be able to spot that. They are prioritizing putting food on your plates, selling food, having customers, having people who depend on them for the food. They are prioritizing that rather than empowering their customers, allowing them to produce their food for themselves. And that's fine, but it's good to know, because there's rarely any excuse for that behavior. And the reason is this: I do believe in a world of abundance where the fact that I'm supported and I am able to do my job well and be successful does not depend on the fact that I'm the only one who can do it. Does not depend on the fact that I'm holding some secrets and I don't share them with the others, so that I can benefit from the fact that I'm the sole knower of those secrets. I do think that the world should be one of abundance, not of scarcity. And in a world of abundance, whenever I know something new, I go out and share it with everybody else. And in the process of sharing it with somebody else, we create a discussion, we create a culture where we can improve the way we do things, and everybody is enabled to make their best efforts to do whatever they want. And then everybody will decide what it is that they focus on. But if I'm successful at what I do, it's not only because I am being very stingy, I'm being very possessive with the information I have and with the knowledge I have. I hope you understand that. And again, I'm not advocating that because of this reason you should follow us, you should buy from us or anything like that. There are plenty of people who do things in a similar way. There are plenty of people who agree with the principles that I've just explained here. Just be aware when you hear things like, oh yeah, no, I'm a serious farmer, I don't spend time on social media and do this and that. That doesn't mean anything in my view. That only means that they're prioritizing producing food for you rather than enabling you to produce your own food.